Nasser.
Hello, everyone. It's a pleasure for me to be here. I can see many of you. I was in your shoes about 15 years ago when I was in high school. And we were very unfortunate. We never had these kind of opportunities. This is the first kind of Moot for you guys. And I'm very grateful for these guys for organizing this. It's supposed to help you to have an understanding of what the law is and have an understanding of civic education. I'm told there's no more civics at primary and there's no political education at secondary. So this Moot is meant to give you an understanding of civic education, basic principles like constitutionalism, human rights, and as students, there are certain issues you're going to face, discrimination, oppression, suppression, and there's a need for you to know what the law is so that you can stand up for yourself. Another aspect about this Moot is to inspire you to come here one day. When I was in high school, we had careers day, but it wasn't as effective as it should have been. The only lawyer I knew in my life was my mom's elder brother, and he died when I was in senior one, so I never got a chance to interact with the lawyer throughout my high school to get inspired. I always tell people in my high school I wanted to be a doctor, but I was never good at chemistry, so I had a tussle with what do I want, okay? When I first came to university, I did a degree in IT for 3 years. I worked for 1 year, then I realized my calling was to be a lawyer. So I came back to university to do law, which means I spent 10 years here. So I wouldn't want you guys to be like me. I can't say I was confused, but there was no inspiration, there was no mentorship, there was no one to tell me, maybe you're good at poetry, you're good at literature, you're good at public speaking, you're good at arguing, so maybe you can think of a career in law. Our teachers kind of discouraged law. They thought we couldn't make it, we weren't smart enough, and those things. So I would love for you guys to use this experience to inspire you and look at it as a preparation, okay? If you're in senior 3, think about senior 4, then think about what electives you're going to do in HSC. Most of you pass sciences highly at O level. Then the school administration tells you do PCB, do BCM, because the school wants to have a AAA in PCB or BCM, but your calling is a lawyer. So in my law class, I had classmates who were doctors, pharmacists, engineers, but they realized their calling was law, so they came back to do law. Okay, I had a classmate who had done BCom, SIPS, MBA. She was working in URA in a very top job, but she came back to do law and study with her daughter. Now her daughter had done PCM at Namagunga because she got 9 in 8. She got 9 in 8, the sisters were like, look here, you've done well, do PCM. So she did PCM, got 17 out of 20, but the mom told her from when you were young, you wanted to be a lawyer, so you come and do law. So imagine you doing PCM, ICT, then you end up in law school with guys who have done literature. You know, she struggled with essays because she was good at calculating numbers. But now, she's a very good lawyer now, despite that struggle, and she's thriving. So I want you guys to use this experience to inspire you to become lawyers, but also to think about the law differently. We were very fortunate in our law school days. We were trained differently. The previous years were trained to be commercial lawyers, to be rich lawyers who drive Mercedes-Benz and G-Wagons and all those things. But our crop, we are different. We were trained to think of the law as uplifting society. And of course, our teacher, Dr. Kabumba, is over there. He emphasized a lot that don't look at the law as becoming rich. Yeah, he would always tell us, you guys are laughing at my car, but I love my car. And I love the fact that I can come and teach you guys, and I'm happy. I don't have to drive my car in town while looking sideways with tinted windows because I defrauded someone. because I entered a commercial deal and I was about making money. So we were trained differently, and our lecturers were very intentional that when you finish law school, please go back to society and improve it and make it better. Okay, that's why we are coming up with all these initiatives for the first time, because we want you guys to not think of yourself as very rich and we don't want to call ourselves learned friends, okay? We call ourselves counsel, but the Mutua Wansi, the guy in Katanga, doesn't really know about those things. They don't know about a lawyer. They can't even afford one. So we want you guys to think of the law as a tool to uplift society. And I want you guys to look at this moot problem and this competition as a way for you to appreciate how to uplift society. I tell people that in 2012, I studied about online learning when I was doing my degree in IT. But when we were being taught that, it was abstract. I didn't think it would happen, okay? Then when I was here doing my law degree in 2020, my career began its first online classes. And it took them 6 months to decide that we should have online classes because they didn't want us to lose time. But in 2012, I was studying about online classes. In 2020, I was doing them for the first time. Okay, but most of you come from very privileged schools. You know yourselves, I won't talk about it. But your schools can afford computer laboratories, they can afford online learning. But think of a school, let's say in Nakaseke, the moot problem, okay? Can you compete with that person in UNEB and they beat you and they perform better than you? Of course not. I always give an example of my father. My father went to a Church of Uganda school in Mukono, and he sat P7 in 1969, okay? And he was the best student in the whole of Uganda, despite coming from a village school in Mukono. He beat people at Nakasero, Shimoni, Buganda Road, Chitante. And he was able to go to King's College, Budo, and able to go to Makerere University. Because of that, my sister was able to go to King's College, Budo, and Makerere University. Because of that, his eldest granddaughter, this year, will be joining Cambridge University to do medicine. But that ripple effect came from my father in 1969. It was able to go from him to my sister and to his granddaughter. You understand? So think of this moot problem in that context. And if you choose to become lawyers, if you choose to come to study the law here, I want you guys to think of those things. Don't be here and refuse to talk to people who are doing other courses, social sciences, and you call them dense people. No. Think of your law school experience as a privilege, which you must use to empower your communities, your people, okay, and the whole of Uganda. I'm the first lawyer in my family, my whole family. I'm the first lawyer. And I use that to tell people that because I'm the first lawyer in the family, I represent almost everyone. I represent my mom, I represent my cousins, you know, because even my cousins can't afford lawyers. But because I'm the first lawyer, my niece, okay, came to me and she said, after seeing you become a lawyer, I can also become a lawyer. So next year, she'll be joining King's College London to do law. You understand? So she was able to see herself in me. She lives in London, I live in Uganda, but it was so interesting that she had to travel, she had to fly to Uganda and come home to meet me and talk to me about joining law school, okay? That is how much that effect is. So when you guys do this competition, think about all those things, okay? And that it should stop today. It should go all the way to your careers and your life. Other than that, I wish you all the best, and I look forward to interacting with you in the competition. Thank you so much.